Hello Eurovision friends, thank you so much for coming to my channel Eurovision Histories for another chart update on the songs of Eurovision 2025. Eurovision week has now started and more people are starting to listen to the songs, realizing that Eurovision is just around the corner. And so I want to have a look at the streaming numbers as they are at the moment, because that can be an indication how well a song is received by the general public, and also which countries the song is doing well in, which can be an indication of how well it will do in the televote as well. But before we look at the streaming numbers at this very moment, I want to look at the overall streaming numbers as well. So these are the most streamed entries last week, and you see Bara Bara Bastu, Kai, and Sweden leading that with quite a margin, 2.3 million streams, quite an achievement for a song in Swedish. Most of these streams are from Sweden and Finland, obviously, and that is true for most of the songs on this list, or actually all of the songs on this list with one exception. The streams are from the country they are representing. Then C'est la vie and Claude in second place with 1.4 million streams. Volevo essere un duro, I think the Sanremo effect is fizzling out a bit, was second last week, is now third with almost 1 million streams. Maman by Luan has been gaining a lot in the last week and is now also at almost 1 million streams, so congratulations to Luan. And Esa Diva is doing really well for Melody with 0.8 million streams. And next we have the exception that I was talking about, because I don't think there are 0.8 million people in San Marino streaming this entry. Tutta l'Italia, I guess most of its streams are coming from Italy. Then Espresso Macchiato for Estonia, 0.7 million. Baller from Germany, 0.7 million as well. Lighter, 0.6 million for Norway. And then a new entry, Austria and Wasted Love, has pushed out Erika Wickmann, 0.4 million streams, which is a good sign, I think, for Austria, because people say this is a jury song, but apparently people are indeed listening to it quite a bit. And then here are the overall streams. Again, very impressive for Bara Bara Bastu, a song in Swedish, at 41 million streams. Volevo essere un duro closely behind, 39 million streams. Usually the Italian entries are first or second in the most streamed entries for Eurovision, because Sanremo is just such a big deal in Italy. Then C'est la vie, 15 million. Tutta l'Italia, 15 million, was also performed at Sanremo. And then Esa Diva, 14 million for Spain. So well done to all of them. And then I wanted to look at the incredible chart run that Kai has had in Sweden. 11 weeks at number one, 11 consecutive weeks at number one for a song in Swedish, I think is a record in the last couple of years. I don't know if it's a record overall, but very, very impressive. And then in Finland, they are also consistently in the top three almost since the beginning, and 40 million streams, as we just saw. Very impressive. Let's look at the streaming numbers as they are at the moment. We're starting with Apple Music, and there you can see something that surprised me a teeny tiny bit. I mean, I've seen a lot of media attention for Tommy Cash and Espresso Macchiato, but Estonia is doing really well on the charts, obviously doing well in Estonia, but also in Finland, Lithuania, Italy, which is interesting, and Latvia. So Italians, some hate this entry for arguably making fun of their culture, and others love it apparently. Then you have Bara Bara Bastu for Kai, number one in Finland, 12 in Norway, and 14 in Estonia. I don't know where Sweden is here. Maybe there's no Apple Music in Sweden. Then we have JJ Wasted Love already in third position, 27th in Norway, 34th in Finland, and 40th in Austria. I think we'll see a lot of Finland and Norway here, because I think Finnish and Norwegian subscribers, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of people are starting to stream the whole Eurovision album, and that's why a lot of the songs are charting in both of these countries. Lucio Corsi doing quite well in Norway and Finland as well. So that might be an indication that it could do better than people are expecting. And then we have Erika Wickmann with Ich komme also doing well in Finland and Norway. Claude is doing well, especially in the Netherlands. And actually for most of the other countries, it's their own country, and then sometimes Norway and Finland. Maman and Luan doing well in both Norway and Finland as well. and the rest is mostly in their own countries. But you still see Kadia doing well, relatively well, but it's 2 years on, 70 seconds still in Finland, which is an incredible achievement. Now let's look at iTunes. iTunes is not that popular anymore in a lot of countries, but it can still be an indication and it's fun to look at. By the way, I'm using the great website esctracker.com. So if you want to look at the chart yourself, go there and check it out. So we see that Loreen and the Two is still doing better than any of the entries this year. So it's really become a Eurovision classic at this point. But in second place, we already see Kai with Bara Bara Bastu doing incredibly well in Finland and Sweden, but also in the other Nordics, third in Norway, 12th in Denmark, and then also doing well in our host country, Switzerland, and charting in the Czech Republic, Estonia, and Cyprus as well. This could be an indication that this will do really well in the Nordics and Baltics, but I don't think anyone is really surprised about that. In third place here as well, and another indication that this could be a surprise, not really surprise, but this could do much better in the televote than people are expecting it at the moment. Tommy Cash doing well in Norway, Cyprus, Latvia, and Italy. Then we have Yuval Raphael doing really well in Israel, and then also 16th in our host country, Switzerland. But she has lived in Basel, and part of the song is in French, so that might be the reason for that. Luan and Maman, 7th in France. I'm very happy for her because the song didn't really chart all that much after it was revealed. So I hope that this can become a hit for her in France. She has taken a huge risk going to Eurovision, and I hope it pays off. Doesn't have to be the Eurovision win, but at least a lot more popularity in France than she already has. She's already very popular. And then also 36th in Switzerland. Claude and C'est la Vie doing well in the Netherlands. Melody in Spain. JJ also doing well in Austria, which I'm very happy about. That didn't really happen after the song was revealed. So maybe now Austrians are realizing that they are actually in it with a chance to win Eurovision. I am also happy for Sissel, who is being predicted not to qualify, but she is doing well on the charts in Denmark and Norway. So this is an indication that this could get a few points or a lot of points maybe from the Nordics. It's the kind of entry that Nordic voters in Eurovision really like, I think. And then this made me really happy when I saw it because I love these three ladies. Remember Monday is charting in the UK, which isn't easy. But it is 24th on the UK iTunes chart, and you still see Kadia there doing well in Finland and Sweden, and Erika Wickman second in Finland. And I'm very happy for Zoe as well, 6th in Switzerland. It's not the kind of song that usually charts, but she is doing well there. And then the rest mostly charting in their own country. Happy for Red Sebastian as well. This should be his biggest hit, I think. And then some really interesting ones. Johnny Logan, 29th in Austria. And what else did I see? Oh yeah, Karula, Fangad, Orvin Stormwind is charting in Sweden for some reason. Next, let's look at Spotify, and this might actually be the best indicator because most people, I think, in Europe use Spotify. And if you stream an entry, it really means you like it and you listen to it, and you might be a potential televoter for that entry. And here we see Kai leading the pack once again with Bara Bara Bastu, 2nd in Sweden, 7th in Finland, 22nd in Iceland, and then doing well in other Baltic and Nordic countries, Estonia, Norway, and Lithuania. And here again, Tommy Cash is doing well in Estonia, obviously, but also in Italy. So maybe he will get the 12 from Italy. That would be really fun. If San Marino makes it to the final, I'm guessing San Marino will get the 12. And also doing well in Iceland, Lithuania, and Finland. Then Claude is doing well again in the Netherlands, Kyle Alessandro in Norway, and Napa, obviously in Portugal. The song went viral there and was a hit, and obviously won Festival da Canção. Erika Wickman doing well in Finland, and I think for the rest, it's mostly charting in their own country. Yeah. Yuval Raphael in Israel, Katharsis in Lithuania, Klavdia in Greece, Lucio in Italy, and once again we see Kadia there once again, and Abortuna only charting in Lithuania, not in Germany at the moment. And let's see where Luan is charting in France, 182 there. So that's my chart update for today. As I said, I will be updating this and see how everything develops during Eurovision week after the semifinals. At the moment, it looks like Kai and Tommy Cash might be the big favorites to win the televote, at least when we look at the charts. Thank you so much for watching. Do subscribe if you want to. And if you do that, I will see you in my next video. See you then, and bye-bye.